Welcome to On a String. We're here following immediately after the Spurs win game three. It was a hairy one in New York. The intensity was through the roof, as expected, but it was a great game, went down to the wire. Walking out of it, where's your confidence level with the Spurs that they can come back, be the first team to come back after losing the first two home games in the finals? Where are you at?
Mine's at like 20%.
Okay.
I I just feel like a lot of stuff went the Spurs way tonight, more so than it did the Knicks. And I feel like the Spurs tried everything they could to lose the game there for a little bit. They're closing out of the either closing out the half or closing out a game is god awful. That one play where Fox drove it right into two people, then fell, and then I think he ended up with a turnover right there. But it was just like it's one of those things where those guards really just aren't that experience for New York is so much higher. And OG just keeps hitting shots, which is crazy.
That was what was scaring me for the Spurs was this was the OG game. Now, I don't say that as this is his only one. I think he's one of those guys who can just be phenomenal for a 2 week stretch. I'm a big OG guy. I even wrote down as I was watching, is like OG might be my favorite Nick of all time. Like I love OG Anunoby. It's between him and Josh Hart because I've been a huge Josh Hart guy for years now. Even when he was in New Orleans for y'all, like I've loved Josh Hart. Um, but I think you're more reasonable than I am. I'll say that about how this
About
is
OG, yeah. I
about
do think
OG and the Spurs right now. I think you're a bit more reasonable.
I think though what OG proved is you don't need to go get a big necessarily like Amara in the draft to beat the Spurs. You really just need a guy who can score on all three levels and attack the rim. Because OG has proven that he can score on all three levels and he attacks the closeouts really hard. And he's just got a big body which he can just knock Wimby out of the way. Which is
And he's
why I
not
think okay,
scared.
yeah, he's not afraid of anything.
OG Anunoby has been one of the few guys all year that hasn't been afraid once of Wembanyama. I don't know of a single nope where he's driven on him and is like, yeah, never mind. I haven't seen that with OG. He just goes anyway. And if he blocks me, he blocks me. But he's gonna have to block me. And Brunson has maybe set the record or tied with SGA of nopes with Wemby this series. He's so good at that when he's driving baseline, that little flip reverse off the glass. He's not even attempting that on Wemby. He doesn't even think about it. He just dribbles all the way around, almost like a globe trotter, just dribble around the court.
I think you'll appreciate this reference. Brunson is trying to do his best Steve Nash against Wemby,
What? I
where
don't
he'll
appreciate it. I don't
drive
appreciate it.
baseline and then pop out into the paint and then dribble and like try to hold a hostage dribble to get somebody else to cut or flash or hit a three. It just reminds me very much of prime Steve Nash.
It's a good comp, but prime Steve Nash back then was also like afraid to shoot sometimes. So I don't know if we want to compare Brunson to him.
Oh, I'm not saying they're even remotely comparable as far as actual like scoring ability or even just players.
No, but it
Although,
is. That was Nash's whole thing was the drive and then dribble around and then Amari would cut and it was all kind of like that
he's
was
got
their whole
the
play.
he's got the hockey play in him. Like where you take the puck behind the net for a
Hmm.
second and then come back around. It's exactly what Nash used to do all the time. And it's what Brunson's trying to do against Wimby because he's trying to not get blocked.
Yeah,
But
he was known for that wraparound pass
yeah, I
coming off the side.
I think it's a funny thing just to watch Brunson who isn't afraid. Like he's not afraid of Wimby. He's just trying to find the best way to score against him. And it's just funny to watch him like because he's what 6'1", maybe. Who knows? NBA
Yeah.
measurements are a little off all the time, but it's one of those things where you're just like, he's just the little guy, and he's just trying to figure out a way to score. But it's
Yeah,
tough
NBA
watching them.
measurements are weird. Remember when KD was listed as 6'9" for like 10 years and you saw him standing next to 7 foot guys and it was like,
Are
somebody's
you?
lying.
Somebody's not telling the truth. That's like Brunson was standing next to I think Anthony Edwards, and they look almost exactly the same height. And I think Gilbert Arenas came out, and It was because some guys get measured in shoes, and then some guys get measured without shoes, and like it's kind of a weird that there's not like a formula that everybody just like, hey, we're gonna measure everybody in no shoes, and that's your height, dude.
And it used to be even worse back in the day. Like when I was younger, I remember it was genuinely just, it was a guess. It was almost like they just asked you, "Hey, how tall are you?" And whatever you said, it's just like, that's what we're listing everywhere.
That's like when you go get your driver's license. They asked me how tall I was, and I was like 6'2". I'm 6 foot.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Give
could
me those
say
two.
anything.
Yeah, give me those 2 extra inches. I don't care. What's the cop gonna do? Get me out and measure me?
Would
Line
be
on your
funny if they're
driver's
like,
license.
"Nah, you're lying, measure
Arrested.
them." Yeah.
I think one of the things that I've seen the Knicks do really well, and I mainly I'm talking about this because I know the Spurs won, but we didn't get on for a pod after game two. But their ability in the pick and roll when Wemby's involved to just clamp down and not allow him to have that role that he's had like against OKC. He had that role pretty much all game, all series long. Nobody was really stopping it, but they've done a good job of taking that help defender off of their man and just plugging that hole. And they're just not letting him. That's like Wemby's biggest thing right now is he hasn't had like a bunch of highlight reel dunks. He had a couple this game, which is more than he's had, and he had that free left-handed layup. But you haven't seen a lot of him doing that, but it's because of how the Knicks have been playing the pick and roll.
Yeah. It's what's funny about that is I think the Knicks are doing the same thing the Thunder were doing, but the difference is the Knicks have better size. The Thunder were doing it with guys who are like 6'3", 6'4",
Yeah,
trying to contain it. The Knicks have like, okay, instead of throwing Caruso, Kason Wallace, and Chet, who's afraid of you, we're gonna throw Cat, Mitchell Robinson, OG Anunoby. Like we're throwing guys that are
Bridges.
yeah, beat bridges, beefier, longer, stronger bases. And when they're hooking them, because they're hooking them the entire time. Like they are grabbing his arms, they're pulling him down. Wemby got a lot of foul calls tonight, and he could have gotten maybe 10, 15 more. Just because it is the entire game. I'd almost compare it to uh, like when you're boxing and you're in the clinch, or MMA when you're in the clinch before you try to take somebody down. Like that's kind of where they've had him the whole game. It's been a bunch of like facing up, just clinching on him, and he hasn't been able to break free from that, and it's been driving him crazy. Like it's actually getting to his head beyond just making him work harder and taking him out of plays. It's frustrating the hell out of him, and you can
There
tell.
was a there was a couple plays where like Cat wasn't even really facing the ball. He was basically just facing Wimby and just like like I'm pretty sure two hands were just grabbing onto Wimby. And then as soon as Wimby did get free, he was grabbing Wimby's left hand and just like pulling it. And it's one of the weirder things that I've ever seen. Like they just allow it, partly because he's so tall, and the other part is the other guy grabbing you is also so tall. So they're kind of like, hey, let him fight. Let's see who wins on this. But you can tell it's getting in Wemby's head, and it's fatiguing him. Like it's so much different when you can throw Cat, who's what 7 foot and two something. Like he has a good body behind him, opposed to Shet, who's 6'11", 7 foot, and then weighs 120 pounds soaking wet. Like that's completely different.
And wants to be anywhere on the planet besides on a basketball court with Wembanyama.
Yeah, he would rather be anywhere else.
Man, maybe I should play golf or something.
Yeah, Jet's like, maybe I'll get into some like volleyball or something. I'm still pretty athletic. I can jump. Maybe volleyball's my sport if I got to keep playing this guy every year.
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm actually rooting for Chet next year. Like, I want him to have a bounce back year, and this just be one of those moments where you look back, it's like, man, that made who he was. But
I would love to
it
see
looked
it.
bad.
I would love to see it as a Gonzaga fan, just to have another guy in the league that's pretty dominant and pretty great. So if Shet can put on some weight and figure it out, it'd be awesome.
Jalen Brunson had an okay game. He's had a handful of okay games now. There hasn't been a great game. There hasn't been even like an above average Brunson game. He's getting points still, but it hasn't been efficiently, and it's come in spurts. And then there's like 10 minutes where it's okay, is he really doing anything right now?
You kind of forget he's on the floor for stretches of time.
Unlike
And
OG tonight or Josh Hart, both Hart and Anunoby, like when they are on the court, you know they're on the court.
this is going to be your Josh Hart love podcast. Like you're just
Oh,
going to send all. I'm not arguing. I thought he played great too. I just
love
think
Josh Hart.
that I just think it's funny.
I've had like a running bit with everybody I talk basketball with that he's the GOAT, and I kind of mean it. I mean it in a sense, my my cousin when he was younger, so this might have even been when Josh Hart was on the Lakers. He was asking for guys that he needed to watch in order to help his game. And I wasn't going to say, yeah, watch Michael Jordan. Like, that's not going to help you. Like, I told you the thing, watch his fundamentals, watch where he places his hands on defense, that kind of stuff with Michael Jordan. But if you want to watch a guy that can actually get you on a basketball team, regardless of your size, regardless of your skill set, it's Josh Hart. There's some games it looks like Josh Hart knows how to do nothing on the basketball court but run around and hustle, but he's still the most impactful guy on the court. Sometimes that's all you need. And he had a great game. And you knew coming into the series, Josh Hart was going to have a game where he's going to hit 3+ threes and he's going to hype up the crowd and get them going. And when this game started, he hit two or three threes in the first quarter and a half. I was like, uh-oh,
Yeah.
this is the one. And it made me believe it was like this, the Knicks are to go up 3-0. But with a Hart and OG game where they both went crazy, the Spurs still walked out victorious when they had four guys who played legitimate minutes tonight that looked unplayable. They had De'Aaron Fox, they had Keldon Johnson, Luke Cornett, and Carter Bryant, and all four of them looked unplayable when they were on the court. De'Aaron Fox had a rough game tonight. He had some good passes, he set up some guys, and he hit the big shot there at the end. But he played 36 minutes for 29 of them. It was rough. And
Fox
they're
playing
still
30.
walking out victorious.
Fox playing 37 minutes and going 0 for 5 from three is insane, and 4 for 14 overall. He did have 8 assists, 2 turnovers. That's obviously great, and he hit the big shots when they mattered. Like this, I think he had a mid-range jumper and then a three that really kind of sealed the game. But it was not a three. It must have been two mid-range jumpers.
Yeah, he
But
had the mid.
he's not played well at all this year. Oh, in this series at all. Like he's been absentee for most of the series, and you're gonna need like it's at some point. Like I know Victor scored 32 tonight. Pretty efficient game for him. 11 for 18, 2 for 4 from three. Champagny was pretty solid, especially being on the road. 4 for 9, 3 for 7, and then Castle had a great game. But there's going to be a time where they really need Fox to step up, and it's probably going to come in the Garden at some point, whether it's Game 4 or after that. But he's going to have like they need a more consistent leader on the floor.
Is game four. This is jumping the shark. This is getting way ahead of myself. But I want to ask it because I know this is going to be asked on ESPN tomorrow. Is game four for the Knicks must win? If the Spurs go and win another one there,
I think so because if you look at the history of the Knicks, I think since like 1986, they have not shown up in games that matter in Madison Square Garden. Like they've been pretty average in Madison Square Garden since that run. And so I think you have to have like you gotta win. And you gotta win in the Garden. You got Spike Lee there, you got Derek Jeter. Like you gotta I mean, honestly, it's weird. The two different atmospheres of the game are so weird. But the cool thing about Madison Square Garden, like it's one of the only ones where you see like the courtside seats and like the 4 or 5 levels up, everybody's standing. Like they're all standing, they're all waiting. Like I know that you see like some of the older celebrities are sitting, but like they're all standing, they're all basketball people. It's just such a cool vibe. But then I feel like they need They need a game four win, go back to San Antonio, and then you put more pressure on that young team. Because I think if you give this young team another win at Madison Square Garden, I think you might see the Spurs will probably be champions. If they can win a second game at Madison Square Garden, I think the Spurs probably win the series.
The thing about the Spurs team and Wimby, really just the four guys, Wimby, Fox, Castle, and Harper. As the series goes on, they're just figuring you out more and more. They're a team you want to put away quick
Yeah, we
because,
saw with OKC.
yes, particularly Wimby. He's going to continue to figure out things that you do. Even the past two games, as they've gone on, he's figured out more is like, okay, you're going to grab me here. Okay, you're going to grab me there. Okay, if I get the ball here, I got to attack now. And we're seeing a lot of his figuring them out by getting a lot more foul calls. And he knows now where to position himself to get the foul call and baiting it, just to be honest with you, baiting the foul because he knows it's coming. He knows as soon as he gets the ball or as soon as he gets past half court, somebody's going to grab his arm, somebody's going to hook him. And like when he went up for the rebound at one point and Cat grabbed one arm and then Wimby freed the other to get it. And then Cat grabbed the other one as he was going for the rebound. And Wimby was immediately like, review that, review that. And then they reviewed it, overturned it, foul on Cat. And then the next time that happened, the ref called the foul in the moment because they just saw it happen now. And
Yeah.
Wimby can be like, watch out for this. And there's other things Wimby's trying to point out to them. Like when he goes up for a rebound, somebody keeps shoving him in the back every time he goes up for a rebound. And you see him kind of fall backwards and the ball go over his head. He's going to continue to figure those kind of things out as well as how to attack the basket. I think he's going to get far more shots at the rim as it goes on if they're going to win. If we're going to see more like game one, game two, where they didn't look that good, it's going to be him settling for long twos or threes. But how he started the game off is how he needs to be the entire game because he was attacking the paint and it was unstoppable.
You notice that Wimby doesn't like, just to give shout out to your guy, do you notice that Wimby does not like to be guarded by Josh Hart at all?
He doesn't.
I think it was like a minute 30, just maybe just under 2 minutes, but they were coming out of sideline out of bounds play, and Josh Hart lined up with Wimby, and Wimby like was like, no, like I don't want this. I've had enough of this guy. He's pissing me off. Somebody else do something, please.
I think he reminds him of like Caruso because he guards him the way Caruso does, where he just gets up like underneath him, and
Mm-hmm.
I think it just drives him crazy.
It's got to, dude. It's annoying.
Yeah, you don't want to play that guy.
And I feel like he probably has like some bony forearms and bony elbows. So I feel like the whole time it's just, and when you're scrawny like that, he's just jamming into your ribs the whole time. You're like, man, get this dude off of me.
That old trick of growing out your nails so you could like grab them and it hurt.
Yep. Josh Hart probably got all. Him and
What
Cat
was,
got the same nail guy.
did you see the Josh Hart Cornette altercation?
I did see that. I caught it on the like a little replay of it. That's a fight I would like to see.
What'd you think of that?
I thought it was funny, honestly, and then I thought that it was like, first of all, what's Luke Cornett gonna do anyway? Like he came up and like was puffing out his chest, and was like, dude, like, come on now, what are we doing? You're not that guy. You're not that guy, pal.
I thought it was funny because I'm all for the Luke Cornette hate. Like I've kind of been on that timing for a while now.
Have you? I didn't notice. I thought you were a Luke Cornett fan. I thought that was your guy.
Yeah, it hasn't come back to me yet. Like people haven't been in the comments or DMing me or anything. Like,
I mean, do you think there's Luke Cornett fans out there that are just gonna
yes,
absolutely come in after you? What are
there
you worried
he
about? Like
has a fan base. Yes.
the Mormons? Like, what are you worried about?
He's got a bunch of people in Boston who love him. He's got a lot of people in San Antonio who love him. He has the nuns. I'm not trying to get in trouble with the nuns.
Yeah, you don't want to get in trouble with the nuns, man. It's not for you. Not for
But
anybody.
when that happened, so if you told me on paper, Josh Hart, Luke Cornett altercation, whose side are you going to be on? Yeah, Josh Hart could swing on him and I'm with him.
Josh
But
Hart could walk up and sucker punch him, and you'd be like, "Yeah, Josh Hart for sure."
Cornett probably had it coming. He did something.
He said something dumb.
But in the moment, I was like, kind of what the hell was that for? I don't know what Josh thought happened, but it was just a loose ball and Cornette went for it. And he didn't even like bump into him or anything. Like I think he hit the bottom of his shoe and then Josh Hart popped up and Luke Cornette saw immediately, he was like, what? And then Josh shoved him and he was like, I just like seriously have no idea why he's doing that. And Cornette's done a couple of those like throw a stone and hide your hand thing. He's done that a few times, but this was not what he genuinely just looked confused. He didn't even fight back. He was just like, I don't know. I don't know what I did wrong.
But isn't that like Luke Cornett just in general? I feel like he's confused 99.9% of the
Oh yeah, he
time.
has no idea what the hell he's doing. He's that dude. I don't know what skill he brings to a
I
basketball court.
don't know why he's on the Spurs roster. Like there had to have been someone else available, but they chose him for whatever reason. Shout out to Jason Williams with that great take that Luke Cornett is just as good as Wemby.
One of the craziest things about that to me, the Spurs have three other roster spots with bigs on the team that they are using on Plumlee, Biyombo, and Olynyk. And they don't play any of the three of them. And I'm not vouching, okay, play one of those guys. I don't think at this point in any of their careers they should be playing NBA Finals minutes. But
Come on, Kelly Olynyk,
yeah,
dog, Canada.
I like Kelly Olynyk. But right now, 2020 in the year 2026, I think I'm all right. I think I've seen enough. I think he has
Don't
too.
hate on
That's why he
Kelly,
doesn't
man.
even dress for like basketball games anymore.
He really doesn't, dude. He doesn't even care. He's like, I'm just on the roster.
Yeah.
Getting a check, I'll get a ring, maybe. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I don't know if he even has the shorts on underneath the sweats, like the warm up gear. It's just if they call him, if coach looks at him, he's like, shit, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick.
Next game, he gets called up and he's like, they're like, hey, Kelly, you're in. I don't got shorts.
Wait, actually,
Wasn't that Michael Beasley that one year who came up and didn't have like the right shorts
yeah.
on or something? That's gonna be Kelly Olynyk, except it's not gonna be like on some like just Mike Beasley being just confused in the situation. Kelly Olynyk just really didn't think he was getting any PT at all.
It's just a weird decision from my view for the Spurs to have three roster spots for bigs taken by guys they're never gonna play.
I don't understand why you won't play Plumlee.
I do.
He's good. He's good for 5 fouls.
Is this the series that you want that though? In the Thunder series, I'm with you. Hey, put the hit on some people like Wemby did. I get it.
I mean, I feel like you could tire Karl Anthony Towns a little bit out with just another big body to throw at him.
This
Because
was
I
the
think
best
that's like
Browns game.
because I think that's like one thing that they're missing is like Cat's not getting tired in the same way that Wemby's getting tired because he's not getting abused. And like I to get Cat out of the game, you either have to get him in foul trouble or you have to just out physical him. I mean, he has shown in this series that he is an extremely physical player and he's going to play tougher than kind of what people thought of him. And I've been extremely impressed with Cat honestly this entire playoffs. And I just think that if you do, I mean, he had 11 points. He shot 4 for 10, so he had a bad night tonight. But I just think there's things you could do against Cat too, where you could use Plumlee.
Nah,
I'm
I'm
just a
good.
Plumlee hater, dude.
I'm good. I've seen him take jumpers in warm-ups and he's trying to shoot lefty and it looks like he's throwing a ball shot put. I'm good.
Don't hate on Mason. He's 7 foot 254, man.
Don't care.
Went to Duke. That's all you need
Don't
to know.
care.
Dog.
The Spurs, I say all that to say they need another big expeditiously. They need somebody who can play legitimate minutes that you're not just praying on the sideline the whole time they're out there. Like, please let us just get through these next 2 minutes without them going on a 21-3 run. Please let us get through these next 3 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's something the Spurs definitely have to look at in the offseason is bringing in somebody who's at least capable of doing something on the basketball floor besides getting the occasional rebound and the occasional putbacks. Like, you got to find somebody who can actually play the game.
especially as
I
Wimby is continuing to figure out how to play the center position. He knows how to be a great basketball player and he knows how to impact the game in multiple ways. But I don't know if he's figured out how to play the position of center in the NBA.
not yet.
He, and I'll say this first and then I'll say why I think it's a thing. He is an awful rebounder.
Yeah, dude.
Awful,
Terrible.
awful,
Yeah.
terrible, bad rebounder. Now, he still might walk away with 7 to 8 rebounds. When you're that tall, if you don't get at least five, like you're actively trying to throw a game if you don't get at least five.
Yeah.
But he's a terrible rebounder. He doesn't know how to position himself. He's got a very thin base down there. Uh, he genuinely doesn't know what he's doing, how to box out. But I do think part of it's kind of by design. I think he has a very narrow base down there because they and he are afraid of the fact of if he has a wide base, you're opening up so much potential for somebody to fall on those legs. Like you have to protect him to a degree and narrow him and make him as small of a target as possible in those situations. And that's why they have all the guards crash, which almost the Spurs crash a little too much because a lot of times they crash all in the paint on like a three, and then it's a deep rebound, and then it just goes over all their heads, and they're like, oh, well, maybe all five of us shouldn't be standing in the same spot. Maybe we should have thought about that. But Wimby is
Harper did a bit. Harper did a better job of that tonight. I'm getting grabbing like the long boards. Like he used his athleticism a lot more. But I get what you're saying. There's a lot of
Harper's the
moments.
best rebounder on the team.
Yeah,
He's not
it's
going to
not,
average the most, but when we're talking about knowing how to rebound and knowing how to position yourself, Harper is by far the best. It drives me crazy, Sean. It drives me bananas. I cannot emphasize anymore how much it just makes me want to run up a wall watching this team try to rebound. They have no idea what they're doing out there. Zero clue. If they had a Steven Adams on this team, they may have lost 3 games on this playoff run. I think it is that vital to them of just having a guy that they know they can put out there and position themselves even average to get a rebound. Like they need somebody who can do it because not only do they not position themselves well, they don't even go up with 2 hands.
no, they don't, dude. It's so bad.
The only
None of them.
person who does is Harper. He is the
Yeah,
only one, and he always comes down with it.
and he's a rookie.
Yes.
He had one that he caught. I think it was off a free throw, but he jumped like I don't know where he jumped from, but he jumped from far. It was like a damn long jump. How far he
Yeah.
jumped, and he just came down with the board, and everyone just kind of like I don't know how he got through the crowd of people either, but he just managed to kind of skate through and then end up like down by the charge circle and then pop out, and I was like, damn, all right.
The Spurs need somebody who has even just basic fundamentals when it comes to rebounding a ball because they don't know what they're doing. None of them do. The only other person who can do it well in spurts is Keldon Johnson. But Keldon Johnson has games like tonight where you're scared to even give him 5 minutes on the basketball court because he can't do anything else. And even then, he lets up rebounds sometimes, but he at least jumps up with 2 hands. They don't do it. It drives me crazy. And Wimby, some of it too is because one arm's being held the whole time and they don't call it on it, so he has to go up with one. But then sometimes that just messes it up for somebody else jumping for the rebound over here because he's just getting a fingertip on it. It drives me crazy. Jose Alvarado had a 3-point shot that he missed kind of badly, and he got his own rebound. And and it was on the other side of the rim. He shot left wing, rebound, right side of the hoop. He got the rebound somehow. And I was, what are we doing? And the ball just tipped around because nobody was grabbing it.
Should the Spurs go sign Steven Adams or Dwight Howard?
Yes. I mean, anybody, Steven Adams would be a dream signing for them. Just an absolute dream because Steven Adams is one of the best rebounders in the league. He's probably the number one, unless I'm forgetting somebody, the number one best offensive rebounder in the league. But he knows how to rebound. He's a big body and he can start a fast break for the young guys. He's always been very great at pushing the pace.
Great
He's,
outlet passer.
yeah,
Great outlet passer.
he's the perfect fit for them. I know Houston is going to hold on to him with a grudge, though. They're not letting him go. But
especially not the San Antonio.
Yeah, because as soon as Adams got hurt this year, the Rockets, granted, that timeline kind of matched up with Katie's saying everyone on my team's an idiot. So
Hey, let's not start getting KD. We don't need him setting up burner accounts to make fun of us.
I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool.
That would be sick, dude. If we found out that like KD's burner was just roasting us.
That'd be kind of cool. I think it's almost a rite of passage into like the basketball sphere. If we did that, I was like, hey, we might actually make it.
We might have something here. KD just sent out 74 tweets.
KD said we don't know ball. We might know ball.
We might. There's a shot.
But yeah, I had to get that rant out there because I cannot emphasize anymore how great of a team this would be if they could just rebound. Because there was one possession they gave up four offensive rebounds in the same play or in the same possession, and it ended with a Mitchell Robinson tip in. It's like, bro, at that point, after like three, and it's been two straight or three straight possessions where they get two plus offensive rebounds, just start tackling dudes. Like, you gotta just send a message. Like, hey, y'all better get back or we're just gonna start hitting you. Because we're not getting the rebound. So we're getting you.
I would love to see that just for pure laughs. But I mean, this is where you could play Plumlee. You have somebody on your roster. You don't even have to go get somebody. He can get rebounds. I never thought I'd have to be a Mason Plumlee guy, but for the love of God, there's somebody on your roster who could potentially do it. He's 7 foot, 245. He's got a great body. Pause. But he could definitely do it, dude. He's got to be better than Luke Cornett. There's no way that you can sit here, look me dead in the eyes, and say that Luke Cornett is a better rebounder than Mason Plumlee.
Luke Cornett's not better at anything than anybody. He's not good. He's not a
That's
good
not
player.
true. He's really good at shutting down fun nights in Atlanta.
He might be the GOAT at that. He might be the GOAT at that. Also, what's the deal with the Knicks and Luke Cornett? Why do they all hate him? Everybody in the Knicks was talking mad shit to him all night. Was it just excitement out of Wemby not being there? And they're like, oh, now here's our moment to really like make our statement and say what we want to say, and Cornette's just going to be the face of it? Or do they have an issue with him? Because literally every possession they were talking shit on. Cat in particular, Cat and Hart were like really going at him.
They're really upset about the Magic City night.
I mean, I'm with them. I'm not complaining. I'm with the guys. I'm just curious if there's something there. Is the tide turning on Luke Cornett where he had good PR and everybody's like, yeah, he's a good big off the bench. He's a good locker room guy you want to. It's like, this guy's kind of a bitch. Like, has the tide turned?
I mean, it
Because I'm
has to
ready to
by
welcome
now.
him in.
I mean, it has to by now. I mean, you were early on the Luke Cornett hate.
Yeah. I'm proud. I'm proud to be on this side of things.
Are you?
Yeah. Because they were
I
going
mean,
at it.
wouldn't you? If you were playing and you saw Luke Cornett out there and you've been seeing Wemby for the last 10, 15 minutes, wouldn't you talk shit to the guy? That's the first person I'm talking shit to. I'm gonna be like, bro, I'm about to dunk on you. This is gonna be so much easier.
Man, it's their eyes widened so far the second
You gotta
one.
get happy when you see him, dude. You're like, oh, guys, we can get to the room now.
Cat is spamming the pass me the ball button as soon as Wemby's out, and he gets it. He just runs. He just goes right at him. Cornette, like I wish he had one thing he was good at, because when he's out there, they don't even try to set anything up. They literally just like, oh, it's Cornette down there. They throw the worst pass. They don't even try to throw a good entry pass anymore because it's Cornette. We're gonna get whatever we want, and he got a steal on one of those, and there was a moment like we have to try against this guy.
Dang it, he's good.
Yeah. He made a play. All right.
How would you feel if Luke Cornett challenged you to one on one? You think you got a shot?
I'm showing up.
Cool stuff. I think you got a shot. I'll root for you.
Appreciate it. I appreciate you believing in me. I'm gonna say I'm losing,
Oh yeah,
but
you're losing for sure, but I'm still rooting for you.
I want a moment where I can just talk my shit. Like, just, let me get one moment. I just tip the ball away. Give me like one steal, one just like, oh, he thinks he can just lazy and I poke it away. Like, just give me that. And I'd be like, yeah, and just talk my
This is
shit.
this is why you're a Josh Hart guy.
Exactly.
Because your first thought wasn't, hey, let me go score on this guy. Your first thought was, let me get a steal. Let me poke the ball away. Let me get a turnover. Let me create some chaos. I'm not even worried about scoring. I'm going to focus on what I can do.
Yeah, just want to make him make that dumbass face they did where he looks around like, I just let me make him do that and I win.
Okay. All
That
right. Would you get
fair?
a shirt? Yeah, that's fair. I'm with it. I'm fine with it. I
Let's
love
set it
the,
up.
yeah. Shout out Luke Cornett. Got a one-on-one game for you. Would you go to San Antonio to play him, or would you make him come to Birmingham?
I'll go.
You go? Okay. Sweet.
I'll show up.
We'll take On a String podcast to the one-on-one game between Logan and Luke Cornett.
You can commentate.
Oh yes, please. Oh, dude, that'd be great.
So if you are going to be commentating the one-on-one between Cornette and myself, I feel like you need a commentating partner. Is there anybody between the two teams, the organizations, or in this final series that you'd be like, he would make for a good partner, make this fun? I have a
Josh
couple
Hart, dude.
candidates. Josh
Josh
Hart.
Hart. Josh
Uh,
Hart. Give me Josh Hart, dude. That's the easiest question ever.
can I
Yeah.
counter?
Yeah, sure. Let's hear a counter.
Can Josh Hart be like my sideline coach?
Yeah, I'll give it to you. I'll give it. Yeah, that's fair.
I'll let Cornette have Wimby. I'm okay with that. Let him have Wimby because I don't think at some point somebody's just not coachable and it's not going to matter what you tell them. And I think that's kind of the case
We're
with
just gonna see
Cornette.
Bimby like this the whole time.
Yeah, just get angry at him. If I do
Yeah.
one good thing against Cornette, Wimby's going to be furious.
Yeah, dude. He will not be proud of him like he was proud of whoever that was in the OKC series.
And I will bust my ass trying to make Josh Hart proud of me if he's giving me pointers and dive here. I will bust my ass.
I will run through a brick wall for that man. I got him.
Yeah. Hell yeah. What about Rick Brunson as your commentary guy?
I'd be for it. I'd be cool, Rick.
Can I just say I think this Knicks team is beyond lovable, extremely likable. I don't think they really have somebody they can hate besides Cat with his like complaining antics that can get pretty exhausting. The one Nick that just drives me up a wall is Rick Brunson. Can't stand
Why do
Rick.
you not like Rick Brunson, man?
I can't stand him. I can't stand Rick Brunson.
Why? What did Rick do?
Well, he did a lot. If you look into his past, he did quite a lot. But that's not even what I'm talking about. I'm strictly going to talk about on the court stuff. Every single time Jalen Brunson gets in any little spat or falls down, that dude's running out onto the court like he has to defend his little boy. And I hate it. I hate it so much. Like I wish we did a pod after game two where there's the De'Aaron Fox and Jalen Brunson standoff, and Rick Brunson felt like he had to go fight for his son's honor. Like Jalen Brunson can't handle himself. Like he's not the king of New York right now, and he can't handle himself. He's got to be protected by Rick.
So you're okay
I know where you're
with
going with this, and I don't think it's the same.
it's the same, dude.
It's not the same.
You're okay with LeBron sticking up for his son, but you're not okay with Rick sticking up for his son,
I'm okay with LeBron sticking up for his teammate,
his son.
who is his teammate. Is Rick
So
Brunson
his
doing the
son.
same thing for Cat?
I'm sure he would.
He doesn't. Is he doing the same thing for Mikal Bridges? Is he doing the same thing for Josh
Yeah, but
Hart?
when Mikal Bridges falls, he's kind of like a baby giraffe anyway. Like when he falls, it just he just kind of stumbles. Like no one's really like
That's fair.
upset about that.
When Josh Hart got into his little altercation with Cornette, Rick was over there just sitting there happy as
No,
can
Rick
be.
jumped up, dude. Rick was ready to fight.
Nope.
No, because he saw Luke Cornett, he was going to punch him in the face.
You wanted to get in on it?
Dude, it's just out of pure. That's just for love of the game, though. That has nothing to do with anybody else.
That's what drives me crazy about it is the how biased it is towards his son. Like, I'm all for like protecting your kid and everything, but if y'all are going to be on the same team working in this kind of proximity, every time this happens and there's treatment that's different towards one versus the other, I think it's crazy. Because I don't think LeBron does that. I don't think he treats
LeBron don't pick
Bronny
up
different than anybody else.
LeBron don't pick up any of his teammates. The only time he's ever stood up for his teammates is when it was Bronny.
That's not true.
It is true. Dude's a
And
terrible
also
teammate.
celebrating your guy is different than, okay, let me go fight this dude. That's a bit different.
LeBron's a terrible teammate.
Rick Brunson sucks. I'm on the record. And I think anybody who knows a lot about Rick Brunson will agree with me heavy.
I'm not agreeing with anything that's against New York Knicks fans. If
Rick
New York Knicks,
Brunson
if
sucks.
if the Knicks fans come out and say he sucks, then okay, he sucks. But until that day comes,
I know
I
they
don't.
feel it.
I don't know what Rick Brunson did though, so let me put that caveat in there. So like whatever he did, I'm not vouching for that.
Do I have to do like the Pat Beverly break you, like fill you in on
I'll Google it. I'll Google it later and then feel like an idiot.
it? I mean, I'm not even talking about that stuff though. Just him with the Knicks and his whole shtick. I'm good on it never being a thing on my TV again. I'm just tired of it. But it's Jalen Brunson, and if Giannis can have three fucking brothers on the team, Jalen Brunson can have his dad as an assistant coach. Like fair.
I mean, at least his dad played basketball. Giannis's brothers barely know what a basketball is. They're
Shut up,
the,
Giannis.
they're just there for the gear and the free weight room. Like that's the only things the Giannis brothers care about.
Do you think if there is a Giannis trade that the brothers will be included?
I feel like you have to, but I don't know how you do it for some of those teams that want him. Like it's
As
almost
a,
like LeBron, where you feel like you have to take Bronny too.
I
But
really don't.
I think LeBron would be more okay with letting Bronny be his own. Like, hey man, it's your career, it's your time.
I want to see Bronny versus LeBron really bad now. I haven't thought about that possibility, but if LeBron goes to like Golden State, let's say, and it's Lakers versus Warriors, JJ, you know what you have to do. Put Bronny out there. I gotta see it. I gotta see them go at each other like just for a play.
Storybook ending for LeBron would be he goes back to Cleveland. Cleveland makes the finals. The Lakers make the finals. It's Bronny versus LeBron, and Bronny has to guard him the whole game. Otherwise, he gets no dinner.
You think LeBron sacrifices himself, kind of like the like a Mufasa, like Lion King moment, and he's like, "Son, this is for you," and he just gets
Nope.
dunked on by him or something.
Maybe I can see LeBron dunking on his own son. But I feel like when the game starts, it's I don't feel like LeBron would really care because he's still got to defeat the whole legacy of getting absolutely dominated by JJ Barea. The last thing he needs is being dominated by JJ Barea and being dominated by Bronny. That's not a good look.
I don't think he has to get over the JJ Barea chapter.
Okay, if you feel that way.
I like I like that. That's a good debate. Okay, I
Whatever you say.
disagree. Okay,
I'm not gonna sit here and go back through 2011 with you. We've done it like I don't know how many times.
that's fair. We'll have to do that on the pod. We haven't gone through the LeBron, although we did like a month ago go through his finals, and you kind of came to the middle a little bit on it. Like some of them maybe not his fault.
They're all his
2011 though, I'm with you. As a Heat fan, I'm definitely with you because
all his fault.
I was very mad in 2011.
Should be.
I was saying some crazy stuff. If we had a pod then,
Were you like wanting to trade LeBron for like a bag of potato chips and a
we don't
washing
need
machine?
him. We're better without him.
Said no basketball fan ever. Even people that hate LeBron, if you found out LeBron was coming to your team, you'd be like, gotta go buy a jersey.
Yeah, there are a
It's a
lot of
wrap.
Lakers fans when he went there is like still a Kobe guy. It's fuck LeBron forever, but go Lakers, baby.
Yeah, dude, you just gotta go. All right.
Yeah, we didn't need him. D-Wade was better. I didn't need to hear his name ever again. And then in that offseason, wasn't that offseason or the following year when I was still on We Don't Need LeBron, the jersey my dad got me for like my birthday or something was the LeBron James Heat jersey. I was like, out of all the players, you really don't know me, huh?
That's like Cassie got me a Lakers LeBron jersey, and I was like, "You not know me at all? I hate both of these things. I'll take it. Don't get me wrong. I was happy I got it, but still,
I hate the Lakers uniforms now too. Like the highlighter
so bad,
yellow.
so
My
bad.
God. That's something we'll have to do this off season is just like go through every team's current gear and like uniforms and just give our opinions on them. I think that could be kind of fun.
Is that where we bring Wendy a little bit more into it too?
Oh, she would love that, I think.
Because she's supposed to rebrand Memphis, was it?
Wizards.
Wizards.
Yeah, she hates the Wizards just strictly off the name. That's it.
It's like my daughter's picking their NCAA teams this year. They're the Huskies. Okay, we'll go with them. They're not very good. Okay, don't care.
They're my favorite.
They're cute dogs. All right.
Yeah, Wendy's, I said Wimby. Wendy's been very passionate about the Wizards suck just because of their name. And I was watching the draft lottery and her brother, so like my brother-in-law came over and he was watching it too. And they said the Wizards won the lottery and I'm over there like, oh, this is crazy. And his reaction was, the Wizards are a basketball team? And Wendy was like, thank you. And then they just both trashed it. So, um, game three. So we got Rick Brunson. That was very important for me. I had to get that off my chest.
That was
Uh,
a big one. That was a big. Has that been a big finals thing for you, or has that just been all playoffs long? You kind of done with him?
Pretty much the entire time I've been aware of his existence.
Okay.
So I'm glad I finally got to get that out.
Just so everybody knows, this means he hates the Knicks, hates Jalen Brunson.
Just his dad.
Okay, never mind.
I like
Sorry.
Jalen. I think Jalen's awesome.
Jalen's tough not to like, dude.
Yeah, he's a very likable guy. Besides, he does a little bit of the flopping and stuff, but I don't think it's even been that egregious. Maybe we just watched SGA and the Thunder for so much for like a couple weeks, and then now watching him is like, yeah, maybe he's not that bad. For all the Thunder fans who are trying to loop in Jalen Brunson with the SGA combos.
It is like I think like a 10 to 15% drop off in flopping from SGA to Brunson. So there is a significant drop in how much he flops. He still flops. It's just not as I guess like what you said, it's just not as egregious.
Yeah, there's typically some contact when he does it. I'm kind of okay with it if the guy is like does have his hand on you, because we can kind of get into this. This is something that we talked about before we start recording. There's so much inconsistency with the officiating, and I don't think anybody in the league knows what the rules are because last time I checked, hand checking is not allowed in the NBA. By the rule book, hand checking is illegal. But there is not a possession in this playoffs that hand checking hasn't happened.
Yeah,
And
it happens on every possession now, and it's egregious. Like hand checking, like it's you could be
hand
in the
checking,
nosebleeds.
hooking,
Yeah,
headlocks. Like I saw a full Nelson like on whatever day it was, Friday, whatever the last game, there's a full Nelson.
has it gotten for the refs where they're just kind of like, "Fuck it, we're not gonna call anything. We're just not. It doesn't matter anymore. Like everybody complains about what we do anyway, so let's just not call anything. Let them do what they want to do."
Yeah, I think that's where all the frustration has come from, is just the fact that we don't know, nobody knows what rules we're playing by. And everything they allow isn't technically not allowed. I think we need to revisit that. I've been talking for years about how we need to bring hand checking back, and they unofficially have, but then sometimes they call it. And it's like, wait, This is how we've been playing for the past 2 months. What do you mean? Now you're calling it. And I just gave Brunson kind of a bailout. I'm going to go a step further. We have been a very pro Victor Wembanyama podcast. We've said a lot
Very.
of great things about him. If there is a guy in the series who has done a little bit of that, oh, woe is me, I fell down, it's our guy Wemby. I have to be honest.
Yeah. It's been Wimby a lot.
There's always a foul attached to it. He's not just falling down because he just felt like falling down for no reason, but he is doing it.
Yeah. I agree. I don't have it really much to say on it other than I have noticed him flopping a little bit more. But for him, not I guess I'm defending him in this case. He gets he gets a bad whistle. Like he doesn't get a lot of calls that if he was 6'6", 6'4", he would get. At 7'4", whatever he is, 7'5", 7'8", he's an alien. He's whatever. Um, I don't feel like he gets those easy whistles that like Brunson gets or SGA gets. And I don't think that's necessarily fair just because of his height. I don't think you should be able to pull a guy down and he don't get a call. So to me, Wimby almost does have to flop a little bit to sell it.
I agree, but it's also been that way with every great big man.
Yeah, I know. It was like that with Shaq. It's been like that for years.
It was like
No
that with
matter.
Kareem. It was like that with Hakeem, David Robbins. Like that's just kind of how it's always been. I'm not saying it's right, but they were all great regardless. So I think you do kind of just have to figure it out a little bit. I will say this is the most that I've seen besides Shaq, where they just hold your arm the whole time.
Well, my problem with it is Shaq's 7 foot 345. His nickname was literally the Diesel. Like
Superman.
that, yeah, Superman. You had to foul him. I don't feel like you have to do that with Wemby, and I feel like that's what I don't think it's fair to actually put him in the conversation of being like Shaq because they're two different players.
Well, they attack his arms because everybody knows the big advantage Wemby has is his length. So if they can get away with grabbing his arms all night, even if they get called for the foul 4 or 5 times for doing it, and we take his arms out of the play 12 times that don't get called for it, yeah, we're gonna do that every time
Worth it,
for sure.
so worth it. Why would you not?
Because they practically have him in handcuffs some of the game. Like some of the plays, they're literally just straight up holding, they're face guarding them. Like it would
Yeah.
be a holding if we were in the NFL. They would call holding.
It's one of the funniest things is I've never really seen anybody guard somebody like that ever. Like I mean, you see when like a guy's on a heater or whatever, you'll face guard him to kind of see if you can make sure he doesn't get the ball or whatever. But I've never seen somebody just like straight up face guard someone and then just hold their hands or hold their wrist or hold their forearm or hold whatever you can grab of him so he doesn't get the ball, doesn't go set screens. Like they've absolutely taken the freedom of movement that's been allowed in this era for however long it's lasted completely away from Wemby. Like he's not allowed freedom of movement of any kind.
No. It's been really fun watching Stefan Castle learn all of these things in real time because he's such a raw talent still. He's very, very good. Like we both love Castle. He's awesome.
Right.
He
I love
knows
that.
a lot of stuff about basketball and the right mentality after playing at UConn. Like he gets so much of the fundamentals of it, but there's so much that he hasn't learned about the NBA professional side of basketball and all the little tips and tricks and the things that you can get away with and you can manipulate. And it frustrates him so much. It drives him crazy because he'll see Wemby get held or he'll get held on something for a play and then be completely eliminated from whatever set y'all are about to run. And then he'll try to do it on the other end and get called for the foul. and he'll complain about it. And then they show the replay, and it's like, brother, that was not how you get away with it at all. You untucked his jersey, you pulled him back, you grabbed him by the neck. Like that's not how and you can see him say that's what they just did. And then you watch the replay, it's like, not quite. Like you haven't figured out the line yet.
Wemby needs to go and either get with Shaq in the offseason or Hakeem and Castle, even though he can't go to the one guy who I would say go to, which would be go to Kobe Bryant. Because Kobe knew every little tip and little trick. He knew each ref and what they would call and what they wouldn't call, and that's exactly what Castle needs to go do. And the only other person you can probably learn that from is Jordan, because Jordan was the same way. Jordan knew the refs. Jordan knew how they were going to call the game. He knew what they would call, what they wouldn't call, what he could get away with, what he couldn't get away with. And even like that push off on Russell to get the game winner, he knew they weren't going to call that. Like, and it's just finding Castle's gonna have to find those little things as he continues to grow. Because, like you said, he is such a raw talent. Like I know he's got the pedigree. Played at UConn. He had a great college career. He's gonna have a great NBA career. But man, he hasn't even tapped into what he can really be yet. Chris Paul would be another guy to go talk to.
That's what I was thinking. And I
CP3.
think it's a perfect guy to call, but at the same time, I kind of don't want him to. Like, I don't want that.
Well, the question is, what? Well, I guess Chris Paul would probably still help him out because I know him. I know CP3 and Shea are real close. So I don't know if he would be willing to help out, a rival like that. But
He's
it'll be
also close with
interesting.
Wimby too, though.
That's true. He is close with Wimby. It's going to be interesting to see no matter what the outcome for the Spurs is, they're so young. What they decide to do in the offseason and how much they decide to grind and get better in certain aspects because their youth shows in moments. It's going to be really cool to see what they go and do after this.
Harper, I would have him. His is kind of easy for me. Tony Parker.
Yeah.
Hang out with Tony Parker in the offseason. Another guy that I think would be great for Castle, but it's not going to happen right now while he's still in the league, Drew Holiday.
Yeah. Drew would be great for Castle and Vassell too.
Yeah.
If they could both go and hang out with him and get some work in with him, it'd be really interesting to see what they take from that.
Give a sell with Ray Allen.
Oh, now you're talking.
He reminds me of Ray a lot, except he's a lot angrier than Ray ever was.
I was gonna say, dude, like early Ray, like early like Milwaukee Ray Allen or Seattle Ray, definitely not Boston or Miami Ray.
No, 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 no. They, I know we talked about it before, but sometimes when he takes a jump shot in transition, I get a flashback of honestly, I do get Boston, Ray Allen, and those possessions because those used to haunt me.
Oh,
But
you know who Dylan Harper should go talk to too? Richard Hamilton. Because if Dylan Harper develops a nasty mid range game, because his mid range game is so inconsistent, Dylan with Wemby, because he can hold somebody in that hostage dribble and then take that little sidestep, mid range jump shot, it would be nasty.
Richard Hamilton is a perfect one, but I thought you were going to go a different direction for why it would be perfect.
Why?
The off-ball movement.
Oh yeah, Rip's off ball. That's a good point too. His off ball movement was nasty back in the day.
If because with the ball, Dylan Harper is already one of the scariest dudes I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Full stop. Already rookie year, 20-year-old Dylan Harper, one of the scariest dudes with the ball. He can get to the basket whenever he wants. If you pair him with Rip Hamilton off the ball, and now all of a sudden he's the scariest dude off the ball too. Jesus Christ, man. I
And
know,
he's only going to be going into his second year too. There's so
I
much. The crazy part for the Spurs is there's so much growth left. Like Wimby really hasn't even touched who he's going to be in at year 8 compared to where he is now. Dylan Harper from this year to year 8 is going to be a completely different player. A completely different player. Like there's so much room for this team to grow. Whereas you look at the Knicks and it's almost like I don't want to say that they're like a finished product. There's still room for Brunson to add parts to his game. Um, he's another one that should probably go get with CP3 for a little bit. just because they have kind of similar styles, especially later. Maybe some playmaking would probably help Brunson a little bit more. I know he's more of a scoring guard, but just having that extra bit. And Cat should go talk to Dirk because he needs a more confident 3-point shot.
It's funny. I was thinking that for Wimby too, Dirk.
Dirk, yeah, you know who they should go see together too. Bring
Hmm.
in Steve Nash. Steve Nash's balance stuff, though, that he does with bringing in soccer and basketball is really, really good stuff. Like he did a lot of good stuff with Kevin Durant and his balance when they were in Brooklyn. Like I know that's not like it's kind of an overshadowed thing that nobody really cares to even address or talk about because Steve Nash was a terrible head coach by all accounts, but he did do a lot of good stuff individually with guys.
Well, I'm glad he helped Kevin to the point where he was like, "Hey, fire this guy or I'm out."
Yeah, well, I mean, he was a terrible head coach. I didn't say he was a good head coach.
I could see somebody like Dylan Harper being with Nash though, and training with him. Just how he's able to slice in and out of the defense and get to the paint. Because I think Harper's a good playmaker, not great. And if he adds that, I mean, the sky's the limit with that dude. I might have flipped, and I'm with you now on the I'm not trading the number one pick, or I am to get Harper. Like I might be with you on that now.
I love Harper. I loved him in the draft. I still love him. And every game I watch him, I like him more because he's another guy where it's kind of like Brunson, where it doesn't really matter how bad of a shooting night he's having or what's going on. He's gonna be that guy. Like he's gonna find a way to get a couple buckets where he needs to. He's gonna find a way. Now, late game wise, that's something we got to talk about here in a minute. But late game is a whole different situation. Their late games, that's something the Spurs coaching staff has to get better at
And that'll
because
come with
this,
age too.
yeah, this well, one of the problems is Fox. Like you're getting downhill on somebody, and instead of just going, I would rather you get mauled at the rim and get a no call than kick it out for a three when we really don't need a three. Like there was no reason they shot. I think two back-to-back threes in the corner and went 0 for 2 when they had the ball at the rim. And I get it. I said it in the text message to you. One of the best shots, like high percentage shots in basketball, is getting 2 feet in the paint, a kick out three. That's one of the best shots in all of basketball, no matter what level you're playing at. But man, just get the ball on the rim and stop shooting so many threes. That could be the old man in me, though.
Yeah, I think the person who missed both the shots were Harper.
Mm-hmm. It
Well, you've
was.
pointed this out too when we've talked about him. His jump shot is so flat. Like there's no arc to it. It's crazy where these are complaints, but he's 20 and he's like the second most important guy on the team, arguably. Like,
You know who he needs to go talk to for that, though?
don't do it.
Either Rick Pitino or Mitchell. Because Donovan Mitchell's shot going into college was a laser, and Rick Pitino got him, talked to him, and was like, "Hey, come here. I'm gonna tell you something nobody else is telling you." Or I think he said, "I'm gonna tell you something that everybody's telling you." He's like, "You shoot like a laser, man, and a missile. You gotta start shooting with some arc to it." And then he finally does it, and he's now Donovan Mitchell. He has an arc to his shot. He's a great shooter. He does all the things he's supposed to do. It's just one of those things.
Sean doubling up as a podcaster and father at the moment.
For sure.
So I had a quick question.
Okay.
If you're the Spurs and you had to choose between keeping Castle or Harper on your team going forward, you can only have one.
Oh man. I gotta stay on brand, man. I'm going Harper, but that's the if it came down to that, I think if I was the Spurs GM, front office, head coach, even Wimby, I would probably be in a corner crying because I would want to keep both of them. Like if there's when Harper gets off his rookie contract, and I'm sure he wants to be the guy on a team. Like I'm sure he probably has that pull towards that, especially with all the talk this year of a lot of guys have come out and said it. being like, oh well, if Harper was in Cooper Flagg's position, then Harper would be averaging what Cooper Flagg is averaging. And I do agree with that to a certain extent because when you play on a bad team, you're gonna score more. Like there's nothing you can do about it. Like there's no one else. You're the only guy. They can't depend. So it's gonna be interesting to see how much Harper values winning. Like what's more important? Is it because he comes from an NBA fan? Like his dad's Ron Harper. Like money really isn't an issue, but you still want to go make your own money. So like, I wonder what pulls him more. Is it the money or is it winning? If it's winning, he's going to be a Spur forever. If it's money, Jesus, he might end up being a freaking Clipper or something terrible.
Mm. I love Castle.
Are you taking Castle?
I love Castle. Harper's different, man.
He's dude. He gets in the offseason this year and he gets with some guys who can shoot the ball, gets his jumper a little bit better, does the stuff he needs to do. The sky's the limit. And then you pair him with Wimby.
There was a play down the stretch where it became very close. It was a high intensity moment. This dude was laughing.
Yeah, dude, he enjoys it. He's not afraid of the moment at all. He
And
grew up with
I saw fans like kind of bashing some of the Spurs guys for laughing in their like walk in to MSG and that they weren't taking it serious. Like these guys are just they're young and confident. They don't know they shouldn't be
it.
good right now. They don't know they should be like, "Oh, our backs are against the wall." They don't know that they should feel that way yet. Like,
They don't know what they don't know. They don't realize that like because they're young and they have Wimby and they have what they have, there's not the thought of we might never get back here. The thought is we're going to be here for the next 10 years. Guys, we're going to be in the finals or the conference finals for the next 10 years because of what we have. So there's no like that's why you see them laughing and joking around because they don't have that pressure on them. Their pressure is that they're young. So their biggest fear is what? They're going to get better next year? Like that's what they have to worry about. Oh, that's scary. You're going to lose Luke Cornett. Oh, okay. We're going to lose some guys and we're going to probably make the team better in the long run because it's the Spurs and it's what the Spurs have done for the last 20 years is build dynasties. So
I
that's
don't know if
why
they even know that they can lose.
they probably don't, dude. Because they're at that age where they're invincible. All of those guys. When you're 22, 20, 19, like, you're not afraid of anything.
Yeah. It's like
It
we're
doesn't
here. Why
matter.
would we be here if we're gonna lose? Like we wouldn't be here if we're gonna
Yeah.
lose.
And those guys are old. We're the
Yeah.
future. Like, that's got to be the thought of going into that game. And I also don't want those guys thinking anything else but that going into that game.
Yeah.
Because once you start getting the pressure of, oh, like, we might never make it back here, or this is our only chance, or like any other thought, like, you're just wasting your time. Like, just
Yeah.
enjoy it.
And I could see a situation of if they did end up losing to the Knicks, it triggers like the 1990 Bulls when they lost to the Pistons. And it was a hard fight, literally, and they went back and forth and they felt like they were the better team, but they just didn't quite get over the hump. And there's some reasons they pointed to of why we didn't get past them. And then the next year, they're like, we're just going to dominate literally everybody at every single moment. And it snaps something into place for them where they just become the most dominant team because that 91 Bulls team then just became unstoppable and just fucking up everybody. I could see the Spurs becoming that.
I think there's a better case for the Spurs doing that than any other team in recent history, just because of the youth around their team and what they have. Like,
And they have a psycho,
yeah,
a couple of them.
they, they have a lot of them, dude. They have some sickos on that team. And that's the thing. They've built that team so well. Castle is a psycho. He played in college for an absolute psycho, sicko. Like, Dan Hurley's the guy. So then you bring that to the league with his talent. Okay. Dylan Harper's the son of Ron Harper. That dude he's got one of the best lines in The Last Dance. When they talking about when he's played for Cleveland and they said that Craig Elo was gonna guard Jordan and Ron was like, all right, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah, that's right.
That doesn't make any sense.
The Spurs are full of psychos. They have Castle, who's an obvious one. You just have to watch for a second. Harper is for a different reason because, I mean, he's laughing in the face of death in multiple situations.
Yeah.
Carter Bryant is a psycho too. That dude wants to be great more than anything. He might cut off his arm in order to get a single stop on defense. Devin Vassell will fight anybody. I'm just convinced of it. And then Wimby is the craziest dude maybe ever. Like, there's a chance he could be rivaled with Jordan and Kobe for just being the craziest guy when it comes to winning.
They got the thing. So there was this high school coach that one of my buddies worked for, and his thing was like, whenever something was going wrong, he would be like, "They don't know what they don't know." And the Spurs are like the perfect example of they don't know what they don't know. Like they have no clue of where they should be or how they should be because they're not like fully developed NBA players yet. They're all so young. Wemby's just starting out. He hasn't even hit his prime yet, which is crazy to think about. Dude was on minutes restriction for the whole season this year, and now is in the NBA Finals. Like Dylan Harper's a rookie. Castle, what? He's in his second year. Like the sky's the limit for the Spurs.
In all reality, Wimby is still getting into playoff shape right now.
Yeah, which is which is why the Knicks cannot let this series go on past. Like they really got to close it out in five. Like you really don't want to get it to game six, game seven against the Spurs because Wimby is just going to keep adding things. Dylan Harper is going to figure it out more. Fox is going to have better shooting nights, which I've been saying I think since what game one of against OKC, or we've been like Fox is going to start. He's going to start. It's going to start clicking, and it just hasn't yet for whatever reason. I think he had one good game against OKC, and I think that was game seven, which is the game you want to have your best game, I guess. But we still haven't seen like I don't want to say like vintage Fox, but we really haven't seen like how good Fox really is.
I'll leave it with this. Wimby is already a legend. Madison Square Garden, NBA Finals. He's getting "fuck you, Wimby" chants while being held and beaten like every great center has throughout history. He's gonna be all right.
He'll be all right. He's doing
Yeah.
his thing.
Regardless of what happens, he's gonna be all right. So we took a little break there between where you last heard us and now. And in that time period, I've had the opportunity to hear Mike Brown's press conference where he talked about the officiating in tonight's game, which I thought was interesting and definitely worth bringing up. He basically just talked about how there was a free throw discrepancy. It was 24 to 8, I think, or 22 to 8, something like that.
24-8 is what you said, but
24 to 8. And that there was more than likely opportunity for that to be narrowed because he said that his guys probably did foul, but the Spurs fouled too. And it was a physical game. I think watching it, there was definitely plenty of moments where you looked at it, I was like, yeah, the Spurs are kind of getting the favorable whistle here. But how do you feel about Mike Brown publicly talking about the officiating in game three of the finals?
I mean, I the thing that it would be one thing if it was coming from like OKC's head coach or even the Celtics head coach, where they do kind of complain a little bit more. Mike Brown really doesn't complain. Like he's like you said, he said it in the press conference. Like really don't complain. It's just like man, the fouls. And I think that's the refs can take it one or two ways. As like a personal attack, or they can take it as, hey, I just want the game called fair. Can we make it at least close? Like 24 to 16. Can we make it around that? Eight more free throws. It's not that big of a deal. Couple more calls. Do the right thing. I hate that that's the conversation that we're having, though. That's my problem with it. It's not, and that's not on Mike Brown. That's on the officiating for all of the NBA because it's been like this for a while.
After they showed Mike Brown's press conference in that clip, they had the inside crew react to it, and Shaq immediately said that Mike Brown trying to remember how he said it, is either too smart to be saying these kind of things because Shaq recalled a story when he complained after a playoff game when he played for the Lakers, when he was dominating and he didn't have a great game that day. And Phil Jackson went up to him and said, "Hey, what happened? What's going on? You all right?" And he was like, "Yeah, I just didn't get any calls today." And Phil Jackson patted him on the back and said, "Real champions don't complain," and just walked away. And Shaq basically said, "Mike Brown, if you're going to be a real champion, stop complaining."
I mean, that's easy to say. It's also easier, I feel like, to say that to a player. When a coach is coming out and saying it's a little different, like as a coach, you just want what's best for your guys. So to me, that's just like protecting your guys. Like 24-8 is pretty egregious, especially just based on watching the game. Both teams were fouling. The fact that there was that big of a discrepancy in the free throws is kind of crazy.
Can I potentially provide some different evidence?
Sure.
So yes, the free throws, 24-8 is actually, oh, I don't have, in that half it was 24-8. In totality, it was 32-22. So, you know, a little
Pretty
bit.
close. Pretty bad. I mean, I wouldn't really if it's that close at the end of the game, I'm probably not going to complain about it then.
Especially considering they were fouling Wimby every possession he was out there. They were fouling him. The fouls, total just foul calls, not free throws, foul calls for the game. The Spurs fouled the Knicks 21 times, and the Knicks fouled the Spurs 23 times. They only got two more calls. Is it possible the Knicks were just a little bit dumber with their foul calls? And
I don't
maybe
know.
we don't foul them when they're on an entry pass to Wemby 7 times and a half. Maybe we don't do that.
Maybe. But where's the fun in that?
Yeah, you don't get to complain about that, I guess.
Yeah, and you don't get to use it as an excuse. And it's crazy that the fouls were that close together and the fouls are still different. And it also kind of shows you how like the Knicks do play downhill, which still surprises me that the amount of free throws they didn't shoot. But still, like they're still afraid of Wemby, so they're still trying to avoid the paint a lot.
Also,
Landry Shamet,
second chance points, you typically get a lot of fouls off those,
yeah.
and they had a lot. They had 21 second chance points.
Just side note, Landry Shamet in that stupid layup he tried with Wemby right behind him, like
That was the one
it
you
looked,
texted me about.
yeah, it looked like an AAU game where you're just like, God, I hope this goes in. This dude's so much better than me. I'm just gonna like barely throw the ball up and hope he doesn't. The guy who's 7'6" with a 25-foot wingspan doesn't just snatch the ball out of my hands. Like it was just lazy, dude. There was not like I don't know.
Would it
It really
surprise you to find out that Landry Shamet had the worst plus minus in the game?
no, it does not surprise me at all. I actually really like Landry Shamet too. Shout out Wichita State. But
He's turned his career around.
yeah, he has.
Damn, the worst plus or minus for the Spurs was Carter Bryant, and he only played 3 minutes.
That's tough.
He's just not ready yet.
You know who the Knicks need, dude? I was thinking about it. They need Ron Baker.
Ron Baker. I have not
Yeah,
heard that name in a minute.
they need to bring back Ron Baker.
And
That would make
Cleanthony
this.
Early.
Yeah, dude. They need those two guys on the roster.
I
Just for
loved
vibes.
Cleanthony Early. I thought he was going to be a guy.
I thought Ron Baker was going to be a dog. I thought he would carve out like, not like an all star or anything crazy, but I thought he would carve out like a pretty decent, like 15, 16 year career. Just
Yeah.
bouncing.
So, in my opinion, the fouls thing, it's going to be a conversation going into game 4. I know it is, and it makes me worried about what crew they're going to throw together for game 4. And I pray it's not Tony Brothers. I don't see his name. I'll take Scott Foster over Tony Brothers any day because Scott Foster is a bit more predictable. Like,
Yeah.
kind of what you're going to get with it. Tony Brothers, the only thing you know is he's going to make it all about him. That's the only thing you know. You don't really know
Kind
how
of-
he's going to do it. You just know that whistle is going to be blown a lot, and you don't really know which way it's going to fall. But um, the officiating for me, I think it's slightly overblown. But in Mike Brown's defense, watching it, there were several moments I was like, kind of surprised they gave that one to the Spurs. And there are several moments like, really? We're not calling that foul for the Knicks? Okay.
You did text me and say if I was a Knicks fan, I would be really pissed off at the refs.
Yes. So I get it. Just watching it, and I don't want to do the thing that I was calling out Thunder fans for doing. Is like, yeah, but the fouls are so close. You can't say. I don't want to then just parrot that because yes, the fouls are close. It's only a two foul difference. But watching it with my eyes, it was like the Knicks aren't getting calls. The fouls the Spurs received were fouls. The Knicks were fouling. It's not like they were manufacturing them like Thunder fans,
Yeah.
which, if y'all are listening, I know you are incapable of understanding there's a difference. But a lot of y'all's did not exist and were made out of nowhere like a phantasm. So put y'all to the side. Maybe you can't look at a stat sheet when you're fucking bullshitting.
They're not going to know what that word means. You're going to have to find an easier word. You can't use phantasm. That's going to confuse everybody.
Fair. Um, Act bad, I get mad. There you go. But they were foul calls, but it was like the Knicks probably could have gotten a few extra. And I
I
think
mean,
that's all his point was.
yeah, which you can say after every game. Win, lose, draw, it doesn't really matter. You could say, hey, man, I wish we would have called a couple more fouls here, a couple more fouls there. And shoot, the Spurs probably feel the same way.
Yeah, because I know Wimby does. I know he's like, I could have taken, because he only took, I think, 9 free throws tonight.
Yeah, he could have taken 20.
Plus, yeah.
He could have had a Shea game where Shea scores 6 points but ends up with 35.
If Bam shot like 40 free throws in a game this year, Wimby could probably shoot more than 9. But a lot of his free throws are and one, so really it was probably like on 6 shots.
Yeah.
But
It surprises me the amount of fouls that Wimby doesn't get.
yeah, especially
And
since he's going to be like the face of the league and stuff.
I hope he is.
Although LeBron didn't really have the best whistle over his career either, because he was bigger, stronger, faster than everybody. He didn't really get like it wasn't even what's it? I'll say it. It wasn't Jordan level. Jordan had a very good whistle, regardless of which way you fall on. He had a very good whistle. Now, a lot of it, especially in the 80s, was because he was getting clobbered. And I think that seed was planted in a lot of officials' minds like, hey, we saw Michael Jordan get kicked in the throat a couple times. It's like, I'm going to give him a whistle tonight. And that just kind of carried throughout his career.
I will say LeBron, as much as I'm not a big LeBron guy, he has the worst superstar whistle I've ever seen. Like I don't know if there's a superstar that's ever had a worse whistle that's not a big. Like it's one of those weird things that LeBron never got a lot of calls that he should have, and a lot of it is because he is bigger, faster, stronger than everybody else. Still not the goat.
They treat him like Shaq.
They do treat him like Shaq a lot of times when he's not afraid to go in the paint.
You know who else has a bad whistle? I was thinking about this the other day, actually. Steph. Steph has been straight up tackled on 3-point shots. Tackled. And they don't call it. With how sensitive they are with calling that stuff now, can you imagine if Steph was in his prime with the rules they have now about guarding the 3-point line? Because I was watching, the reason why I came across this is the other day I was watching like NBA Finals highlights. It was just like a super cut of like the past 10 years, like just moments that got the crowd hype. And when we're talking about getting the crowd hype, there was no hyper crowd than Oracle Arena. And some of those shots by Steph, he was getting like WWE speared. Like he was getting hit hard and no whistle.
But that is true. That is a good point. Steph is one of those weird anomalies too, where he's a little guy and then never got like legit whistle.
Yeah, and he's physical. People don't talk about that. Like when he drives, he bumps into guys, or in mid range, he had a little shoulder too. It's just you never think about it. It's so weird how we look at stuff.
I,
Everybody
I
to this day views Steph as this like little dude who just likes to shoot threes behind the 3-point line and stay out of business. That dude was bodying guys. Not bigs, not going up against like centers and bodying them, but like other guards, like he was throwing a shoulder. He's strong. He's a strong guy.
well, I mean, he's still 6'3". Like he's not short.
Yeah.
So, but
He could got more whistles.
I don't know if I would ever describe Steph as physical though.
He's a physical guy,
Okay, I'm not gonna
especially
agree.
by like 2017, 2018, around that range. I think those first couple runs he wasn't.
Also, like the LeBron participation period era, about that time, he was pretty physical.
More so the time when Steph had to form a super team just to have a chance and had to like cry in the parking lot to get Katie to join on that kind of more of that era.
More that era. Okay, I just didn't know how we're gonna refer to it as. That's how we're gonna refer to it as. Steph crying in the
In my book of basketball, yeah.
Steph crying in the parking lot. Is it raining while he's doing this? Is it like
Um,
cinematic?
I think it's more a glorious day. It's bright and sunny. People are chanting for the king, and he just it ruined them. And then he had to ruin basketball fans' lives for the next like 3 years.
Fair,
Yeah, I guess so.
fair.
Speaking of people ruining people's lives, I don't know if you've had the opportunity since we talked earlier to see what's going on in the streets of New York right now.
I have not.
They're going crazy.
Are they?
Yeah, it's not good.
Let's go.
I saw a clip of them basically assaulting a dude in a Spurs
So,
jersey, which
so
I mean
not
they
fun
do
then.
all the time. So it's kind of dumb. It's kind of on you at this point to wear another jersey. Like, not that it's right that it happened to you, but what the hell? We lost Sean. I'll keep talking. Not that it's right for that to happen to you, but you kind of have to have somewhat of a, there's a chance I could be attacked if I wear this jersey. Like you kind of have to have some sort of self-awareness with that. Um, but yeah, there's a lot going on in the streets of New York right now. They're all saying they're going to destroy everything, and it was bad. I don't know what's been going on since we've been talking for the last hour or whatever. So it may have gotten worse. It may have gotten better, but hopefully everybody can get home safe and it doesn't become something bananas. Um, let's see. I think Sean texted me. See if we can get him back up on here, or if I'm going to ride solo. And we're back from the technical difficulties. I started to solo pod there for a minute after I lost you, and then I saw the other one come in. I was like, all right, I'll join this one. I was about to take over and finally put out my anti-Steve Nash propaganda. I was ready. This was my opportunity. And then you sent another one. I was like, all right, I'll save it for another day when he's sick.
Just a rainy day and just be
Yeah.
like, it's just gonna be all anti Steve Nash.
Yeah. I'm gonna build a cult following of people who hate Steve Nash.
There's nobody. You're the only one. You're the only person I've ever met that hates Steve Nash. There's people that hate his two MVPs, and then there's you who just hates him as a whole.
I don't know. I think I could sway a couple people.
I mean, yeah, you can sway people to hate anybody, but I mean that's not the point. I don't mean you personally either. I mean like you can, but you know what I mean.
If this pod goes nowhere, but it sways one person to hate Steve Nash, success.
I gotta love your commitment to hating Steve Nash. Like that's like some real next level hate.
Honestly, I think that's like the thing you respect the most about me.
Yeah,
Respect slash appreciate. You really,
you mean your hate for Steve Nash, or just like your moral high ground of who you hate seems to like at least like you can tell like the people you're gonna hate. Like, oh, this guy did this really shitty thing to this person. Logan's clearly gonna hate
It is funny. I have that list of people where you can track down. It's like, oh yeah, this happened, and there maybe was no accountability, and it was brushed under the rug. Yeah, Logan hates that guy. And then there's just Steve Nash, who has like nothing wrong attached to his name, but
him.
he's on the same list for me.
Yeah, it's funny because your list like ranges from, you got Karl Malone, apparently Rick Brunson did something that I don't know about. Um who's the dude who plays for Charlotte that nobody wants to talk about? Him. And then there's Steve Nash. And it's like mm-mm.
Yeah. And I will say that's not fair to Steve.
It's not.
It's,
It makes it
none of it's
funny, I
fair to
guess.
Steve. None of it is fair to Steve. Even the people who only hate the MVPs. It's not fair to Steve. Steve, he just played basketball and showed up to receive the award that he was told to show up and receive. That's not
And
on
was
him.
the greatest point guard to ever play the game.
See, and it's stuff like that. I'm
Name
a,
name me one better point guard.
I can name 20. We should do one of those one day for Steve Nash.
What do you think your number is? How many players can you name better than Steve Nash?
It depends. Do I want to be honest to my basketball knowledge, or do I want to piss some people off
I vote for pissing people off.
and hope it reaches them?
Definitely piss people off and hope it reaches them.
What's the lowest name on the list I could say? Or let me swap that. What's the highest name of all time list person that I could say that I would say is better than Steve Nash? No, I said it right the first time. Lowest on the list, I would say is better Steve Nash that would actually just piss him off. Like what would be the name that would actually just trigger him to be like, you know what I saw the other day? I saw this guy say X was better than me. And he tells LeBron in the podcast.
That'd be so sick, dude. I wonder who that would be.
There has to be a name because it has to be realistic enough that somebody could believe it. Like it, I couldn't just say JJ Barea, right? Like I couldn't just say no knock on JJ. He's like a finals god in the eyes of Sean. But
He's the GOAT, man.
I
He's the
couldn't
GOAT.
say
Um,
somebody random. It would have to be
JJ,
somewhat believable.
I mean, who do you think's better, Tony Parker or Steve Nash?
Can I say this isn't a good question to me because I also hate Tony Parker?
Hate Tony Parker.
I do hate Tony Parker. For basketball reasons, he used to terrify me.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if he did something wrong. I was like, did I stumble upon something that Tony Parker did
I
now?
mean, shitty teammate.
Yeah, he is a shitty teammate. That is,
Shitty, shitty.
that's, yeah, he's a real bad teammate.
But that didn't happen to me, so I don't really like.
You're like, I don't care.
Yeah, that's
Not my
behind y'all's
teammate.
closed doors. Nobody was like, nobody's rights were infringed upon. It's just pretty shitty. It's like I wouldn't want to hang out with you outside of the court. But when he fell down in the finals against us, I forget what game it was or what year. I think it was 2014, and LeBron was guarding him, and he fell down to a little dribble on the ground and got up and threw it off the glass for like the
Mhm.
win. Ever
Yep.
since then, it's been fuck Tony Parker forever.
Okay. Steve Nash or Terry Rozier?
Fuck Terry Rozier. Really, really fuck the Hornets for that one.
That's not Terry's fault.
I mean, it's
I
kind
mean,
of directly Terry's
yeah, I take that back. It's definitely Terry's fault.
fault. It's kind of his fault above everybody.
Yeah. Oh well.
Chauncey Billups or Steve Nash.
Well, that's easy. Chauncey all day. Big shots.
So I don't think that would piss him off. It has to be somebody who's not a champion because you could always be like, oh, well, he's a champion. He could just care about that. Mike
Jeremy Lin.
Conley,
Jeremy Lin.
Jeremy Lin's 2 weeks was better than Steve Nash's whole career. That could be fun.
It's actually not that crazy if you think about those 2 weeks, though. Those 2 weeks were insane.
Knicks
They were
fans still talk about that.
they were insane.
Hell yeah, they were.
Yeah. I had a shirt that said Linsanity.
The problem with that one is if I were to say that, Jeremy Lin is pretty tapped in. If it got to him, I think he would just call me an idiot and kind of shut it down. It has to be somebody who might kind of be like, you know what? I might have been better than Steve Nash. So they have to be a little crazy.
I think Mike
Marcus
Conley is.
Smart.
It made me. I was gonna say Patrick Beverly.
Ooh, Patrick Beverly. That's a good one.
Because he'll buy into it.
I could make a damn good case too. That's good. I hadn't considered Patrick. What if I was the catalyst to a LeBron Patrick Beverly beef between the two podcasts?
I don't want to say this just like one day you'll probably have kids, but that might be the proudest moment you ever have.
It would be fun.
Like it'd be up there.
It would be fun. I like some of Patrick Beverly's stuff, although if I did that, I would be losing some grace with D Wade because they have a pretty heated relationship.
Yeah, and you and D Wade talk once a day minimum.
Yeah, we missed a day last week and I thought he was mad at me.
No, I'm sorry. Did y'all make up?
Yeah, I mean, next day everything was pretty normal.
That's good. That's good. Got to keep Wade County happy.
Yeah. We're going off the rails.
Yeah, that Team Nash talk kind of got us a little off. My bad.
Well,
So
that's kind of the thing for us to if we ever in the off season like, what are we going to talk about today? Just bringing up Steve Nash, we're going to find a topic through there.
I feel like it'd be interesting just one pod go into it with no topics and just see where it goes.
Watch it be our best.
Yeah, dude, it probably will be. Like the flow will be perfect. Everything like will make sense. There'll be nothing bouncing around.
Yeah, it sounds like our phone calls that we used to have just talking about it, where we'd end up talking for like 5 hours.
Oh yeah, like right before COVID, dude.
Yeah.
We do shit at Lynn's and we're just out there like talking hoops the whole time.
Yeah. We'd talk for 5 hours and we'd have like an hour conversation about like the '05 Clippers or some random shit like that. Like stuff nobody cares about. It's
Or
like,
the
bro,
who's better
Lamar Odom was a dog, man. Darius
was
Miles,
dog. Even though people don't like him.
people don't like Darius.
I don't think so. It's a lot of hate for Darius, I feel.
Hmm.
Or not like nobody really likes him. Like you don't meet too many Darius Mile fans.
Yeah,
I
he
feel
had a
like you're
good
gonna come.
mind.
I feel like you're gonna come out and be like, actually, I got two friends that are huge Darius Miles fans.
No,
They got
he had a brief
jerseys.
moment. Um, yeah, I didn't have anything else on the Knicks fans in the street to get back on path. Just wanted to bring that up. I don't know what's been going on the past like hour and a half. We've been talking. Who knows if the city's even still standing?
I'm just, them losing game 3 and there's no chance of a sweep. I know those fans got to be pissed because they were looking forward to it. There were people in the streets with brooms after game 2.
I will say this, with the Knicks fans reacting like this, and with, I know we're not going to get into it, but Trump coming to the game and that bringing a lot of, well, I feel this way, I feel that way about it. Does it potentially mess with the vibe, like the momentum and just the feeling of the team and the city as a whole, if there is so much negativity and uncomfortability attached to tonight?
I think if it was any other city, I don't think it makes a difference. But I think because New York City is so big with the media and so big with, I mean, just everything. So it's really the vocal point. Like those guys for the Knicks, I probably wouldn't turn my radio on, wouldn't turn Spotify on. I wouldn't turn nothing on for a little bit, and just like definitely no Twitter because there's nothing good that's going to be coming out of this for them for a little bit. And the thing is, you were what 11-0 or 12-0 leading into this game, and now you lost one. The bounce back is going to be tough. I think it'd be tougher if the roles were reversed and it was the Spurs. Now they do have Knicks have experience on their side. They've got guys who've been in the league longer. They've got guys who've won national championships. I know they got Castle on the Spurs, but they've got guys who won national championships. So it's a little different. I don't think he gets the Knicks because I think man, Brunson seems so locked in with what he needs to like. I know he hasn't had like a really good shooting night or anything, but like the staying away from the Larry O'Brien trophy, the not talking about it, the kind of having like the similarities that everybody's been reaching for with Kobe and him being just like, job's not done yet. Like, we'll worry about when the job's done kind of mentality. I think they have too much veteran leadership for it to like all go downhill.
I agree. I just think if game four isn't going the way that it should, there's a chance a seed of negativity or doubt potentially could have been planted. And I could see the Spurs. I kind of wish we did a pod after game two because I was talking to Wendy about it actually. And down 0-2, lost both games at home. Everything looks kind of bleak. I was like, I might be crazy, but I think they are still okay. Like, I'm not panicking about it. Now, if they were panicking and it was obvious they were deer in the headlights about it, I'd be like, okay, they just got punched in the mouth. They're not going to recover. But they were all on the same page, saying the same thing. It was like, oh, we didn't play our best. We know we can be better than this, and we know we'll figure it out. It's like, I think they're going to be okay. And if game four doesn't go the way the Knicks want, and the Spurs look okay, who
Yeah,
knows?
but I want you. You also got to keep in mind that the Spurs and the Knicks rosters are made differently. So the Spurs are built to the draft. The Knicks are purely based on the power of friendship. Like that's their superpower. Like they're all friends. I don't see Hart letting Brunson get down. I don't see them letting each other get down about it. I think they know each other well enough to pick each other back up. Now that's only three guys on the team. There's everybody else, but I think that mentality is infectious, and I think it'll kind of positive thoughts are always better than negative thoughts, and I think Josh Hart, Brunson, Bridges even will have such good positive thoughts about things like, hey, like they that was the Spurs' best shot so far. Like that was probably one of the better games they played all the way through. Like they still kind of had some hiccups at the end of the half and hiccups towards the end of the game, but it was probably their best game. So almost in the Knicks mindset, you got to think, okay, we took their best shot and we still almost beat them. So that's why I really wouldn't panic with the Knicks. And something you said in our text, where you said that for the Spurs to win, you feel like they had to win by 17. And I feel like that's got to be a big thing. Like the Knicks got to be thinking, hey, they didn't blow us out. They didn't even beat us by double digits. Like we were close, and we didn't play well. Cat didn't show up tonight. Guys didn't play as well. I know OG and Josh had good games, but like Brunson wasn't as efficient as he usually is. He hasn't had like a big Brunson game yet. And so I think like I wouldn't even worry about like to me the game doesn't like, not saying the game doesn't matter. Like I don't think I'd feel as much pressure on it if I'm Knicks players, especially if I wasn't in New York City though.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. I think they're both going to be level-headed in it. I guess for me, it's more the crowd that
Yeah.
I potentially worry about. If game four is not going well, it's a bunch of rich slash spoiled millionaires at the game. They know they're going to have to deal with the traffic when they leave. They know they're going to have to deal with blockades. They're going to have to deal with people assaulting people outside and all those kind of things to go back to their penthouse. Is there a chance that they get a little sour in the game? If it's not going well, if it's going well, you're not going to notice.
If I think if you have a situation where you start to see Knicks fans leave the game early, I think that's where you could have a problem. More so than anything that happened tonight. If game four comes around and got like you just look up in the stands and you just see lines of people heading out with like 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, that's when you might want to hit the panic button. Also, it'd be weird if both teams steal road games. Like home court clearly doesn't matter then.
Yeah. It didn't feel like home court matters as much as it used to. I mean, game sevens kind of prove it alone. Like I remember back in the day, even when I was younger, game sevens, it mattered where it was played. Like that mattered kind of more than anything. But it seems like the past several years, the road team almost always wins.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid and they'd be like, "Well, if you got a game seven at home, you're fine. Like
Yeah.
there's no stress on you. You want that's what you want. You want game seven at your place, and you it's almost like you're gonna win the game. Like if the away team is gonna win, they got to win by 20 to win by five
Yeah.
type mentality.
And the road team has to win in 6 games. That was always what it is. You have to win at home in six. That's a must-win game. It was always viewed as a must-win game at six. Game six, if you're up 3-2, it's like you have to win this one because game seven, going back there, like you're gonna lose. There's no shot. And now it's like, what if it's the opposite?
Do you think that's because the league has gotten so much more talented over the last like you don't have so many of like not so much like you don't have the Lakers versus a Philly matchup. Like where the Lakers are clearly the more dominant team by miles. And it would take a superhuman performance to beat them. And so like you don't really worry about that as much now. And now you have okay, we have Wimby on this side, but you also have Jalen Brunson and those guys on this side. So like there's talent on both sides of the floor more so.
I think that definitely plays a role, especially in just adding an element of who knows what could happen to it. But I also feel like social media has to play a role. Like these guys are used to being scrutinized to the highest degree. Game seven is not that it's just another game, it matters more. And there's more effort, and it's very obvious the intensity's higher. But the fear of if it goes wrong, I think there's guys play a lot more loose.
Well, at
Like
that
I
point, yeah.
always think back to that Luka 2022 against the Suns game seven, when they went out there and just whooped their ass and were up like 45 points
This
in the
doesn't make you
first
happy
half.
talking about this at all, does it?
What did you say?
I said it doesn't make you happy talking about this at all, does it?
I thought Luka was gonna be the GOAT, man. You couldn't told me different that night. Just the way he was coming out there, and when he made, I think it was Mikal Bridges' fall, and he hit the three. No, it was Cameron Johnson, and he made him fall, and he hit the three, and just started laughing, going back to put him up like 40 in the first half. It's like Jesus. And that series, especially because that was the same series that Lucas said that they were like front runners and that they talk shit only when they're winning and they're quiet when they're losing. That was the same series, and Booker was like kind of the face of that whole thing. And Luca was talking mad shit the whole game seven. That was a special moment for me. I was very happy.
This is a good moment for basketball, man. I was just like,
It was
I don't
one of
know.
those like, is this actually happening? Is this really what we're doing?
It's one of those rare moments too in basketball where you're like, oh shit, this Luca could be like the next Jordan. Like he's just gonna go out and step on their neck, and there's gonna be no mercy. This is great, and it's crazy. The Mavs saw that and they were like, yeah, we should trade him.
Yeah, we're giving them 2 more years.
Yeah, like you saw that and we're like, nah, that's not what we want here.
And the Suns saw what happened to them was like, we're going to blow up our team and we're going to trade every asset we have and we're going to suck for the next 10 years because of this.
Different mindsets, different GMs.
Yeah, they haven't recovered from that moment. That was the moment that everything changed for the Suns.
Or Phoenix.
Last thing I had here, we briefly talked about it before, but we started to run out of time. I had posed you the question, if you were the Spurs and you could only keep Castle or Harper, who would you keep? And you said you were leaning Harper.
Yeah, Harper, 100%.
Oh, so you're solidified Harper.
You couldn't change my mind, man. I'm so high on Harper. It's and I like Castle. I would love to have Castle, but I love Dylan Harper, man. There's the thing with Dylan Harper too is there's so much we don't know, and to me, it can only go up. And like when he starts getting more like the starting solidified a starting role, when he starts to add more pieces to his game, like I think his ceiling is a lot higher than Castle's. So if I was gonna have to mortgage my team for the next 10 years, I would do it with Harper,
What's Harper's ceiling?
the goat. Nah, dude, I think he's like probably an all-star for most of his career. I think he is probably averages like a good 20, 25 a game. I feel like you're gonna clip this and people are absolutely gonna shit on me saying that for some reason though.
I don't know. I think I agree. I think Harper has a higher ceiling, and the reason being the big thing in San Antonio has been they have an alien. They have Victor Wembanyama. He's an alien. We've never seen anything like this. Is it possible they have two? Is it possible Dylan Harper is an alien as well? The things that he does at 20 years old, the way he's able to finish at the rim, the balance that he has, the rebounding ability that he has, the natural instinct that he has. Is it possible they have two aliens in San Antonio?
You know I'm gonna agree with that. You know I think that already basically. You
Speaking your language.
I'm probably as high on Harper as you are on VJ. Like that similar type mindset. Like I would take Harper as the lead player on my team. Like and I would build around him. I'd be fine with that. Like that's why the Spurs are in such a crazy position too. Like not only do you get to build around Wemby, but you get to add Harper to that mix. And he's to me, he's proven that he should be a starter anyway. I mean, he's playing starter minutes. It really doesn't matter. He played 32 minutes tonight. I know in game one he had like I think 3 minutes in the fourth quarter, and people were absolutely shitting on it. But I do get the coach trying to get Fox going. But
The reason why I say that about him being an alien is when you just brought up his ceiling is higher, I started thinking, it's like, well, what could his ceiling be? And I started thinking of dudes to compare him to. I have no one. I thought Dwayne Wade, just his ability to get to the paint and get to the hoop and slash and all that. But even he was a bit more reckless. He was kind of more Castle.
to me, Dylan Harper is like a more polished Donovan Mitchell, which who also fits into that D Wade category.
Who has a higher ceiling, Donovan Mitchell or Dylan Harper?
Harper.
See?
I think we've seen the best Donovan Mitchell will ever be. Like I don't think Donovan Mitchell is going to go add a piece to his game during the off season.
I agree.
I, and this is I love Donovan Mitchell. The amount that I want him to win a ring and get there is ridiculous. He's one of those guys where I don't want to look back in like the next 20 years and be like, man, that guy never won a ring. That's crazy.
Yeah. And have the next generation not even really know who he is entirely.
Yeah, he's gonna end up being like this is kind of a bad comp because he got hurt, so it's not really his fault. But it's kind of a I get to throw some shade at you. But he's kind of like the Brandon Roy type. Like his flashes are so great, and you could see like the potential there. But then in Brandon Roy's case, it's injuries. In more Donovan Mitchell's cases, it's just situations.
It could even be worse. It could even, because he's not going to be in what if conversations, because Brandon Roy's always going to be brought up in that. There's always a conversation where people bring him up. It's possible Donovan Mitchell could kind of go like the Mark Aguirre,
Oh.
Adrian Dantley route, like great scorer. If you bring him up for the guys who know, it's like that dude was a bucket. Like you have no idea how good that guy
Yep.
was. But then you're not ever bringing up Mark Aguirre to like a hoops conversation. We're talking legacies. Like, yeah, well, where does Mark Aguirre rank? Like, I don't think
Especially with people who don't know basketball either. Like if you bring that up in a and like just a casual bro conversation of like guys who aren't like we live in Alabama. There's not a lot of basketball guys here. So you like hit somebody with that and they're like, who the f- talking about? Like, and
Yeah,
I don't want to see that for Donovan Mitchell specifically. And I don't want to see that for, honestly, definitely not Dylan Harper. But Dylan Harper won't be in that case.
yeah. I know plenty of people are huge into basketball right now, but may not know the history extremely well. And if I brought up Mark Aguirre, they'd be like, "Who the like? What are you talking?" Or
Danley
even
too,
Adrian
man.
Danley, which Adrian Danley, it's crazy to me he's not more of a well-known name considering that dude was a 30 point machine night in, night out. But I need to start doing, I've brought this up to you, but I need to start doing like a underrated player of the week or something, and just where I just get to just go on a guy, or we both
I,
can. You pick a guy, I pick a guy.
I would love for you to do that just because your knowledge of like the history of the game, I think would really help people because there's some people like, there's people that don't know who the heck, there's people that don't know who Bernard King is
I know.
or Frazier or like Dantley. Like, there's people that don't know who any of those guys are, and it's just sad.
Oh yeah, I'm so ready to Walt Frazier one. Let me talk. Give me 2 minutes on Walt Frazier. I'm good. That's my guy. That's my pocket. We just haven't discovered yet.
Yeah, we're gonna need that, man. That's gonna be like a nice little off season, little TikToks, like YouTube short. Just put that up there and just be like, player of the week.
Yeah. Dana Barrows. Oh, yeah, there's a lot out there I could just throw at people. Dana Barrows is one I've been itching to talk about too because everybody brings up Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf or Chris Jackson as like the
Yep.
comparison to like the original Steph. Fair. I give you that. But if you want to actually see highlights that look the closest to Steph on some shots, is like, how did they let him take this back then? Dana Barros. Look that dude up. He had some shots where he was getting tackled on 3 point lines and guys were chasing him off the three like they were terrified for their life if he got cooking. Granted, at that time it was seen as an awful shot, so his career didn't go the best, but he was just ahead of his time.
It's so funny with some of those guys too, where you go back and watch them and you're like, man, if you were born 20 years later, like you would be talked about in a completely different light and people would actually know you.
Yeah. You would have been like the hottest commodity if Dana Barros was around today. People have been like, well, you have to have a guy like that. And back then it was like, we need this guy out of the league. He has the lowest IQ hoops we've ever seen.
This guy doesn't even go in the paint. What a
He took four threes this game. What an idiot.
dude's ridiculous.
Yeah. He had a behind the back step back three in contest. He's like, that was the dumbest shot ever. Like, what did he make it? I mean, he made it, but
If this guy could just learn to be Steve Kerr, we'd be so much happier. You take two threes a game max.
And if you need to take a step in when you catch on 3 point line, we prefer it.
We like that better, actually.
Yeah. One
We
dribble pull up from one step in the 3 point line, we would prefer that today.
a great shot.
So we're both on Harper.
I mean, I am. I'm probably a fool about how high I am on Harper, but I could care less. I love that kid.
Yeah, I'm with you. I almost hate how much you like him because I'm like, damn, he's Sean's guy. I can't claim him.
No, you got VJ, man. I get Dylan.
That's fair. I don't know, man.
I get
Dylan
Dylan.
might be. Who has a
He's
higher ceiling, Dylan Harper or VJ Edgecombe?
Dylan. We're seeing the dude in the finals. I would also, just for fairness sake, I would build around both of them and be happy with my team as long as like I had some money to get some bigs and get the pieces I need around them. But I would be happy with either of them. I would just choose Dylan Harper.
I gotta ride with my guy. It's been too long of a journey of 2 years.
Yeah, you got to stick with it, man.
I'm gonna ride with my guy. I think he has a slightly higher. I was gonna say because I really love his defense, but Harper has some possessions too defensively. Like he's been playing very good defense on Brunson. He had a
True.
play tonight where he had Brunson like in jail. Like Brunson couldn't do anything on him. And he had him doing like three pump fakes down in the paint, and Dylan just stayed Castle would have jumped on two of them.
Oh yeah, he would have. That's the Castle's so raw and just so there's a lot of untapped potential with Castle because he has all the attributes like he's fast, he measures out well, all that stuff. Castle just hasn't. I don't know. I don't want to say that he doesn't have the pedigree that Dylan Harper has, but Harper grew. I mean, Dylan grew up with Ron. Like he's been growing up around NBA guys. It's almost like the Seth Curry thing. Like Steph Curry was always going to take that step towards being an NBA player because he was around it his whole life. Like he's seen what it takes to be a great NBA player, a good NBA player, and a bad NBA player. And I think you see that with Dylan Harper right now. Is like he was around his dad. He saw those '90s Bulls teams. He was a part of them in a small way. Probably didn't see them. Actually, I take that back because he's probably born in like 2001. But that's neither here nor there. But I mean, he's been around NBA guys.
2006, if he's
Yeah, I know.
20.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
That's crazy. He's born in 2006 and he's doing this.
yeah. It shouldn't happen. He shouldn't be this good. He shouldn't be so like. It's not even just like the instinct part of it. It's just his basketball IQ is so high. And I'm not saying that VJ doesn't have that or Castle doesn't have that or like Castle clearly has a very high basketball IQ and so does VJ, but Dylan just seems to he has what those guys are probably where he is now. Those guys will probably be hitting in year 2 or 3, whereas he's hitting in year 1, and then or more like 5 or 6, I guess I should say.
It's interesting. We've had the Cooper Khan debate so much. I think VJ Harper is a stronger debate.
Yeah, you could because there's good arguments for both. To me, Khan and Cooper has something you can't teach, and that's height. And so that's what separates those two a lot for me. It's like, well, he's 6'10", 6'11", and jumps out the gym, so I'm gonna take that guy right now.
Yeah, and he's still like 19.
Yeah, he's still so young.
Yeah. I think most people would agree with you though. Harper over VJ.
I just think that's a lot. See, that to me makes it just seem like people don't watch a lot of basketball either, too. Because like I think those two guys are like they're close to each other. I think VJ on the Spurs would do very well. I don't know if he'd be doing what Harper's doing, but I think he would hold his own.
He
He
doesn't
might
fit
impact.
the lead as well.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah,
He and Castle would be a lot of overlap.
Harper also has just like a good team understanding. Like he knows his like he's fine with his role and he plays within his role really well. And that's
Yeah.
something that's big for a kid who's 19, 20 years old. Like just having that mindset of being like, hey, I don't have to really score every possession. I don't have to carry the load. I have other guys. I can lean on Wimby. I can lean on Castle. I can lean on these guys, and you can tell like he's a good teammate to them.
Yeah. Shout out Harper, man. I cannot wait to see what his career becomes.
It's going to be exciting for sure.
Yeah. But we'll be back for more final stuff. And we went extra long today, so thank y'all.
Yeah, thanks. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell us we're idiots. It's fine.
Yeah, we're cool with that. As long as you're not a OKC fan commenting on TikTok, we're good with
Good with it. All right.
it. See ya.
See you, bro.